EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, look, some might say that football is a young man's fancy, so to speak, but don't tell that to these two quarterbacks because they come in here with a lot, and I mean a lot, of NFL experience.
Hey, I like the Young Turks. I like the Baker Mayfields. I like the Patrick Mahomes. I like the Lamar Jacksons. But I do like those grizzled veterans who know how to play the game, know how to run their team, and know how to handle difficult situations. Maybe I'm just showing my age, too.
Season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by the only 6-time Super Bowl champion in league history. In his 20th season now, Tom Brady.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now, he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. Here we go. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week.
Check. Kill. Hey, goal 66. Alpha.
The second-year man from USC, this is Ronald Jones. They'll have a first down past the 40. 38 yards on the scamper there.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
56.
Now a play fake. Brady. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
Kill. Hey, Larry. Jim.
On second down now, it's Jones. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
6 guys, check 6 guys.
What a spin. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. 1st and 10 at the 19. Now Brady. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, 2nd down. Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10.
That's going to be a long day. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Hey, wahoo! 56. Mike's 56. 72. Let's get that ball.
To throw again. Brady. This is caught. Gronkowski. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. From 19 yards away. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They've got that momentum going. A touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
We're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. Matt Gay on for the extra point. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, man.
So here come the Saints now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback, the former Purdue Boilermaker. It's Drew Brees.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Ready.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
The steal in the 2017 NFL Draft had to be running back Alvin Kamara out of Tennessee, who ended up being that year's NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Split time with Mark Ingram his first 2 years in the league. With Mark Ingram now in Baltimore, it's his show. And through his first 2 years, almost equal yardage, rushing and receiving. Expect his rushing numbers to take a big leap in 2019.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? The open man is Smith. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards.
The Saints spent a 3rd-round pick on Traquan Smith out of UCF in 2018, and what a thrilling season for him. He was the guy that caught the pass from Drew Brees that moved him past Peyton Manning to become the all-time leading passer in NFL history.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Coming to you, coming to you.
Brees leaves this one with Kamara. He's got the first down and more past midfield. The 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And now it's blocked. The Bucs pick it up. Accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 40, past the 20, and all the way into the end zone, and that's 2 points. Following the botch PAT, they're set to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him, because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Check 3, check 3, check 3. Check. Lucky. Regular. Wall, rip. Wall, get wall. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Alert.
Out of the pistol to give to Jones. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Able to fight through 1 tackle. And another tackle broken. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, that was big right there, because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. 1, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got 1 there. They go play action here on 1st down. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed 1 yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Brady's throw there complete.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
To throw, it's Brady. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA, with a sack. So on 4th down, out comes the Bucs free agent signee Bradley Pinion to punt. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. Now, the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Running with Kamara. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now Breeze. And he finds Cook. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now a play fake here on first down. And a catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Looking long for Thomas. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints have taken the lead. Yes, Michael Thomas is a volume receiver, but he can also make some really big plays, especially with Drew Brees throwing the football.
I love the way you described it. Volume receiver who can also make big plays. In other words, if you underestimate him, he'll run past you or he'll just jump over the top of you and continue to make those big plays.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. A reminder that coming up later tonight, a good one on Sunday Night Football. We'll see what could have been a playoff matchup a season ago. The Bears and the Rams from L.A. And then tomorrow night, Monday Night Football from down in Mexico. Mexico City, to be precise. The Chiefs and the Chargers going at it.
Wait, that 380. 56. All day, pump. 56 a month. Sugar. 386.
On first down, Brady. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10.
Tighten up. 53 Linda. Slam. Watch twist. Hey, 66. All right, here we go.
Throwing again. Brady. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Watch the twist. Say. Watch twist.
Hey, goal 66.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Check 24, check 24. Kill.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Fights through it. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. Look at that nice little drive room right here.
And what's delay? Goal 50.
Check 4.
Hey, Zoo. What do you hit? Shadow.
Throwing on first down is Brady. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a second and 10.
I'm coming after you.
Shadow.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56. Oh, here we go. Oh, shoot.
Shadow. Alpha. Hey, hey. Let's go up. No, 56.
To throw again. Brady. He completes it to Jones. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
53. Go Bandit. Regular. Ozzy. Hey, 66.
Safety screaming.
Go Bandit.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
Right there. Oh, damn, baby.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's second and 12.
Hey, check it.
Check Mike 47. Check Mike 47. You ain't got nothing. Slam. Sponge.
72. Easy. Check regular.
Now Brady.
Rush in. Swiss.
Open man, Gronkowski complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he gets it into the end zone with no time left in the second quarter as they take the lead.
Well, my education continues in this game, I've got to tell you, because there's not an analyst in the world that would have said pass up the field goal here, go for it, and expect for it to be successful, and it was. I mean, they're playing this one just like a video game.
Especially for the final play of the first half to have the guts to do that. But I guess, what do we say? The end will justify the means, right?
No doubt about it. For you and me, we live, we learn.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about two-thirds complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll start with a good one in the NFC South. Carolina playing host to Atlanta, and that one a 20-13 game at halftime. Christian McCaffrey, a touchdown run in that first half. From there, let's head up to Baltimore to check in on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. Paul Richardson, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with it. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Now Breeze wants the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Breeze, a quick throw out to Thomas. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
To throw, it's Breeze. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now. Give him a couple on the carry there. Second and 8.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Throwing on second and 8. Breeze. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read.
And Kamara has it stripped, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
This is really, really difficult for teams to coach because you love the extra effort, right? When he break a couple of tackles, I mean, he was really trying to gain the extra yardage, but you also have to have an idea that people are going to come up behind you from the side, trying to take care of the ball while you're trying to get extra effort. Sometimes you have to know when to say when and maybe just go down.
So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. They're leading right now and on the heels of that victory last week against Arizona. 1st and 10 as they start this drive. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48.
Whip. Watch the whip. Hey, switch gears. Check 37.
Hey, check it. Rip.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Demario Davis, who was the Saints' leading tackler in his first year in New Orleans, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Go Bandit. 72.
He completes it to Evans.
An eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
And those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
Wait, 10. Wait, 20. 10.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Defense.
Yeah, he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
And the ball moved up here now to 2nd and 7 following the penalty. After the penalty, it's Jones. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints 42.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that first down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done.
Wait, 10. 180.
Check Mike 47. Woo-hoo. He's coming. Double up.
72.
He's coming. Double up.
Let's go on. No, 66.
Mike, 47's the Mike.
You ain't. Wait, 20 hit. Wait, 20 hit.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
Brady's pass to the sideline and incomplete. Malcolm Jenkins.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Ready? Hey, come on. Check it, reload.
Let's get the ball. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Kill. Check. Go. Check three. Check safety.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. A gain of 3, second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Big gas. Check.
Alert! Wait, pretty hit!
Shit.
Check it!
They'll go again to Jones. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Back now in Tampa. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. The Bucs on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Slam. Go. Check 99. Kill. He's coming. We got double up.
He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Check 24. Check the backer. Check nickel.
Alpha!
Check 50. Check 30.
Hey, 66!
They'll try to run this one into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Brady's going to sneak it. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Tom Brady, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
And the sneak works on 2nd and goal. They didn't wait until it was 4th down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays, don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Yeah, it makes you really part of the gang, doesn't it? It makes you part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
Check. Kill. No. Off. Kill.
Hey, bolt 66!
Kill. Turn up.
Now this time, Brady will throw, and this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
getting the touchdown now. It's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right. All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic? Yeah, I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. Drew Brees, 6 fourth-quarter comebacks a season ago, and that led the NFL. He'll try to deliver another one. On 1st and 10, here's Brees. Complete. Smith has it. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Brees. And brought in by the tight end Cook. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Brees. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Brees going to come up here, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Throwing now is Brees. And that's complete to Sanders. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Again, it's Brees. And Thomas has it. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
On 1st down, it's Vaughn. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They'll run it with Jones. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Easy. Check 6 guys. 4-7's the mic. 4-7's the mic.
6-6. Pull it.
Working from the gun, it's Brady. And that is incomplete. Janoris Jenkins with good coverage that time as he was able to get in there and knock it away.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. still going. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. Bruce Arians takes a shot there, but his guys come up empty. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Boy, sitting on a 2-score lead at this stage in the game. That punter, he must be pretty lonely over there on the sideline thinking, why in the world was my number not called there?
Well, as far as he's concerned, the check will still cash, right? It is your choice not to use me in this situation. But I also look at it this way. Some coaches more aggressive than others. They just want to take care of the football, have the ball on offense, and then
he lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on first down. From the gun, it's Breeze. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. There on the coverage, knocking that one away was Mike Edwards.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Here's Breeze to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that.
Set 53. Alabama.
They'll run on first down. Vaughn. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
I got one.
This is Jones. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. They went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, standing just outside his own goal line. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly. There was an adjustment, whether it was just